Newsmax, a propaganda outlet that doesn't really care to fact check anything, got punked by a prankster pretending to be former Deputy Secretary of Defense Paul Wolfowitz. Not once, but twice, which I love. So let's give you a little taste of one of the times it happened.
Did you believe that the mission in some form should have continued?
Oh, absolutely, Tom. That goes without saying. What the piece in the Wall Street Journal is truly about is that a sitting president in the office of president unnecessarily ended a war for no reason at all. Because let's be honest, Tom, there just aren't a lot of things that ordinary Americans can be proud of these days. We know that other prosperous countries have it better in healthcare, infrastructure, education, elder care, food options, and income. And if you take away our global dominance, we're left with a whole lot of nothing. And Biden should have waited till he at least got something passed in terms of healthcare and education, for example, or even just transport and infrastructure. But with nothing to show Americans why Americans great, dominance in a place like Afghanistan is all we've got to keep us away from that ledge. Of course, $2 trillion could have been spent building stuff that people want instead of going to big defense contractors and shareholders. But that's all milk under the table, Tom. And the point is, ending a war with nothing at all to replace it is the pinnacle of irresponsibility when you've got crumbling infrastructure, rising addiction and death rates, poor food options, substandard education, expensive health care, and so on.
That was awesome, as Jake would say. That was amazing. That was so good. Hold on, before you talk, I gotta give the people info about who that was, right? So Yes Men member Andy Bickelbaum carried out the prank. The Yes Men describe themselves as laughtivists who destroy brands, create public illusions, work with communities, disrupt events, and impersonate nefarious entities in order to bring attention to critical issues, cheerlead activists, and sometimes galvanize communities into more actions. That's according to their website. And I really think that's the way to do it, right? Yeah. Troll the trolls.
No, they're really good at it. So there's so many hilarious parts of this. First of all, that anchor claims to know Paul Wolfowitz in real life, in person. But he doesn't sound anything like Paul Wolfowitz. So why, like if Ben called into the show, right? And it doesn't sound like Ben Mankiewicz at all, I'd be like, dude, you're not Ben, right? And meanwhile, he's like, yes, former Deputy Secretary Wolfowitz, what else do you have to say? Then he starts saying, hey, we should have healthcare like everybody else. Paul Wolfowitz ain't gonna say that.
Exactly.
You know Paul Wolfowitz? I don't have to know Paul Wolfowitz to know he ain't gonna say that. And then he said, you take away a perfectly good war and don't replace it with anything. But the Newsmax dunderhead still doesn't get it. He's like, I wonder why my friend Paul Wolfowitz is saying these things. And then he says absurd lines like, hey, that's just milk under the table. And the blockhead still doesn't get it. It went on, I think, 11 minutes.
It was so good. It was so good. Okay, and as I said, Newsmax got pranked twice by the same guy. But I want to give you one more clip from this particular time. Let's watch.
I was in the administration that began the war, and I have to say that in retrospect, it's very clear that $2 trillion could have gone to a lot of things that Americans could now be proud of, instead of a 20-year unwinnable war and the dismal failure that we have seen. They cannot be proud of this war, this 20-year war. They could have been proud of many things that $2 trillion would pay for. No.
Well, I mean,
Mr. Secretary, Martins of the world instead.
Yeah, Mr. Secretary, I want to stick on foreign policy. You're on the board of an organization called No One Left Behind. So talk to us about that organization and what they are doing in the here and now to help those who are stranded under Taliban rule.
Oh, of course. Well, we are doing everything in our logistical capacity, which is, frankly, Tom, not that much.
Now, so that organization is not assisting. You're saying that what their efforts is not they're not actually helping.
Oh, we're certainly assisting with that organization is doing absolutely the best it can, but that's kind of nothing compared to a 20-year war that cost $2 trillion from day one. It was a little bit of a
well, I mean, and just to be fair, I mean, we've spent trillions of dollars on loads of public assistance and welfare programming and other things over the course of that 20 years here domestically. But I want to stick with the foreign policy and the war on terrorism. And
I love, he's like, look, to be fair, we've spent some money on social safety net stuff that's garbage, absolute garbage. But can we get back to the topic at hand? Isn't it great that we were in Afghanistan? Should we still be in there? Like, he's like genuinely, like, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get what's happening.
No, he has no idea what the news is. That's because these guys, they're just news actors.
Totally.
They're not news anchors. And by the way, that's not just for Newsmax and the right-wing media. Most of mainstream media are also news actors.
But I want to know,
they don't know anything about the news.
Why that guy? I get the news actor thing. We all know it, okay? I know it, you know it, the American people know it. But why that guy? Like, what is it about? Is it the funny hairdo?
Oh.
Is it like the serious look in his eyes as he's being punked on television? Like, what is it about that guy that they're like, yeah, that's the news actor we want?
Well, there actually aren't a lot of people who are willing to lie like that systematically for here, give me. No. Let me explain. So like the way
Cenk's optimism again.
Okay, no.
It's so sweet.
No, guys, listen. So in the news world, they usually hire from local news stations. You'll work your way up from small markets to larger markets. They don't do what we do, which is, hey, if you're amazing online, we don't care about, hey, did you cover fires and traffic accidents?
Right.
We care about your passion, and if you're smart, we'll help to put you on air and get your progressive voice out there.
We like randos on the internet.
Well,
not randos, I'm kidding. But yeah, talented people on the internet that haven't been programmed to be robots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like if you get a news person in here, we have to deprogram them. They're like, okay, where's the prompter? Who tells me what to say? You got to know what to say. You have to actually know the news here, right? But these guys, so they're coming up so Newsmax wouldn't just go, oh, okay, there's a bunch of idiots. Let's just grab one, et cetera. Because we hire smart people, they hire dumb people. So they get local news guys. And among the local news guys, there aren't a lot of them that go raise their hand and go, oh, I'll lie. I'll say anything on air. I don't care how stupid it is.
Yeah.
I'll just say it, right? And so that's why the guys who step up and who are generally speaking look like they're from 1955 are the ones that get hired.
Okay, cool. Now that was the first time. There was a second time that they got punked by the same people, different show on Newsmax. Let's watch.
Your thoughts as you listen to the 43rd president speak today, 20 years later. What are you reflecting on?
Well, a lot. There's something else that started on 9/11, and that's a different kind of terrorism, which is much worse than 9/11. And the new master terrorists make those old hijackers look like rank amateurs. If you could oblige me for a second, if you're on the air, I'd like to ask you to make an X over your head with your hands as if you're defending yourself against something in the sky. Could you do that for me?
Is he asking us to do this?
What is he asking? Okay, go ahead, Paul.
Go. All right, just make an X over your head with your hands. And now I'd like to tell you you're under arrest. And I mean, as a friend of your station, I've got to tell you that Newsmax is a much bigger threat to America than the hijackers of 9/11.
Thank you. End of that story.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul, thank you so much.
Thank you for your service. What was that?
I will say just one comment. The blonde in the blue dress, I don't know her name, I apologize. She was actually the savvier one because she was like, as soon as he said, cross your hands over your head, she just like looked down like, I'm not doing that. And the guy is like, looked to her for leadership. He's like, is she gonna do it? Because if she does it, I'll do it. She didn't do it, so he didn't do it. But then the other woman on this panel, there she is.
Yeah.
Pobrecita. Pobrecita.
Okay, I told you, 1955. Okay, anyways, look, the earlier Paul Wolfowitz, same guy, also not Paul Wolfowitz, had said that he blamed defense contractors and said that the war was a dismal failure. Paul Wolfowitz would never say that. He was on TV the other day saying how spectacular the war went. I'm not kidding, I saw the clip. He's like, oh, we had 20 years of success in Afghanistan. How stupid are you at Newsmax that you listen to that guy for 11 minutes who's clearly not Wolfowitz, and then you put him back on air?
So good.
Okay, and even at the very end there, they're like, all right, Paul, it's not Paul, you morons. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.